Eritrea and Ethiopia, two nations, side by side, yet divided by more than just a border. Their landscapes blend, but their histories were shaped by outside forces. In the late 1800s, Italy seized the Red Sea coast, forging Eritrea from local polities. Italian colonizers imposed new boundaries and foreign rule. While Eritrea became an Italian colony, Ethiopia, under Emperor Menelik II, repelled Italian conquest at the Battle of Adwa, preserving its independence and inspiring African pride. This victory cemented a border, Eritrea, shaped by colonial rule, and Ethiopia, proud of its sovereignty. For decades, Eritreans lived as colonial subjects, educated in Italian, conscripted as Askaris, and urbanized in Asmara, while Ethiopians maintained their own traditions. By the end of World War II, these parallel histories had created two distinct peoples, their shared ancestry overshadowed by a century of separation. World War II ended Italian rule in Eritrea. Ethiopia regained independence, but Eritrea's fate was handed to the United Nations. Eritreans were split, some wanted union with Ethiopia, others demanded independence. In 1950, the UN imposed a federation, autonomy for Eritrea, but under Ethiopian sovereignty. The seeds of future conflict were sown as geopolitics trumped Eritrean self-determination. The federation, established in 1952, quickly unraveled as Ethiopia eroded Eritrean autonomy, suppressing political parties and imposing Amharic. Peaceful protests were met with force, and Eritrean institutions were dismantled. In 1962, Ethiopia annexed Eritrea, dissolving its parliament and ending the federation. Armed resistance soon followed, as the Eritrean Liberation Front began the fight for independence. Eritrea's struggle for identity had truly begun. The Eritrean War of Independence was a 30-year ordeal, brutal, lonely, and largely ignored by the world. Eritreans fought not just for territory but for the right to define themselves, to claim a name and a future that was truly their own. The Eritrean Liberation Front, and later the EPLF, united diverse communities, Christians, Muslims, men, women, building a disciplined, inclusive movement that transcended ethnic and religious lines. Against overwhelming odds, they built underground hospitals and schools, creating lifelines for their people even as war raged above. They even manufactured their own weapons in makeshift workshops, turning scarcity into innovation and self-sufficiency. Women fought shoulder to shoulder with men, shaping a vision of equality and self-reliance that would define Eritrea's future. By 1991, the EPLF captured Asmara, ending Africa's longest war and bringing hope to a people who had endured so much. Independence was finally within reach, but it would take a national referendum, an act of collective will, to make it official and give Eritrea its rightful place on the world map. In 1993, after decades of struggle, Eritreans voted overwhelmingly for independence in a UN-supervised referendum, ending a long and brutal war for freedom. Hope soared as the new nation began to rebuild, led by Isaias Afwerki and the former EPLF. Optimism filled the streets, and dreams of democracy and prosperity took root. For a brief moment, Eritrea and Ethiopia cooperated, opening borders and exchanging visits, but unresolved disputes soon reignited tensions. The 1998-2000 border war was devastating, leaving tens of thousands dead and the border still bitterly contested. Eritrea became a garrison state. Indefinite national service and political repression replaced early optimism. The promise of democracy faded, replaced by daily struggle in a region marked by uncertainty. Yet Eritrea's story is one of resilience, shaped by war and a relentless quest for self-determination. It is a nation that fought fiercely for its name, and still holds on to hope for a better future.